so I'd like to take a moment to thank them and have you recognize them for their leadership. So please hold your applause until I've asked all of them to stand and remain standing. Board Chair Jim Colkhorst, who will bring greetings in a moment. Board Vice Chair Dennis Krausen. Board Secretary Charles Mosier. Trustee Randy Wells. Trustee Douglas Bohart. Trustee Allison Binky, and Trustee Rebecca Ehlert. And somewhere in this crowded room is my loving and most wonderful husband in the world, Jim Hensley. Over here. Thank you, Jim. And I'd also like to welcome our stage guest and ask again, if you don't mind, hold your applause until all the names have been called. And would you all please remain standing? Dr. James Hallmark, Texas A&M University System Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Lois W. Colkhorst, Texas State Senator for District 18. John Rainey, Texas State Representative for District 14. Kyle Cassell, Texas State Representative for District 12. Andrew Nelson, Mayor of the City of Bryan. Blinn College student Michael Russell. Thank you. And we're joined by a number of honored guests and elected officials. I would like to ask again, would you please stand as I call your name and remain standing, and we'll acknowledge you together as a group. Judge Steve Smith, Texas 10th Court of Appeals, and also a former professor at Blinn College. Brazos County Commissioner, former Blinn trustee, and chair-elect of the Blinn College Foundation, Nancy Berry. Former Blinn trustee, David Summer. Carl Mooney, mayor of the city of College Station. Bryan City Council members, James Edge, Bobby Gutierrez, and Brent Hairston. College Station City Council member and chair of the Blinn College Bryan Campus Advisory Committee, John Nichols. Brazos County Commissioner, Steve Aldrich. Bryan ISD Superintendent, Ginger Carabine. College Station ISD Superintendent, Dr. Mike Martindale. Matt Prohaska, President and CEO of Brazos Valley EDC and his staff. And Hunter Goodwin, Chair of the RELLIS Building Trades External Advisory Committee and owner of the Oldham Goodwin Group. And a special close personal friend of mine that I'm so pleased he's able to join us again, Casey Odom. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate your presence. The entire Blinn College District does. And we're joined by several legislative staff today, and I would like to recognize them as well and ask them to stand and remain standing as I call your name. Brandon Simon, Central Texas Regional Director for the Office of Senator Ted Cruz, and Jeff Mirsky, Outreach Coordinator for the Office of Congressman Pete Sessions and a Blinn College alumnus. Thank you both for being here today. And we are also joined today by Charles Schwartz, former chair of the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents, his sister Kay, and Cole Murphy. Charles and Kay Schwartz are the children, and Cole Murphy is the grandson of former Blinn College president and Schwartz Building namesake, Walter C. Schwartz. Charles, Kay, and Cole, would you please stand and be recognized? I also would like to recognize Blinn's administrative team. If you are a member of our administrative team, would you please stand as a group and let us recognize you as well? Thank you all. And we're joined today by several very talented individuals involved in constructing the Blinn RELLIS Administration Building. And I'd ask if you would stand and remain standing until the end. Bartlett Koch, Avanex, Gensler Architects, Kimley Horn and Associates, Jones DBR, Gessner Engineering, Datacom Design Group, and from Blinn College, Richard Cervantes, Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance and CFO. Richard O'Malley, Assistant Vice Chancellor for Facilities, Buildings, Planning, and Construction. Mark Feldke, Project Manager for this building. David Vessling, Director of Facilities. Kathy Baker, Director of Facilities and Planning. Jessica Gaida, Project Manager. Richard Leminski, Director HVAC and Energy Management. Michael Welch, Dean of Academic Technology Services. Brad Rowland, Network Systems IT Manager. And Alex Padron, Client Systems IT Manager. Thank you all. And if you are with the Blinn College Foundation, or the Blinn College Alumni and Friends Association, or if you are a member of any of our campus advisory committees from Seeley, Schulenburg, Brenham, Bryan, or the RELLIS Academic Alliance, would you please stand, all of you, and allow us to thank you as well. I also would like to recognize our outstanding partners from Texas A&M University, the Texas A&M University System, and the RELLIS Academic Alliance. Would you please stand and let us thank you most humbly for your presence today. Additionally, as I call your name, would you please stand? Mark Weichhold, Texas A&M University System Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Kelly Weatherman, Chief of Staff for Texas A&M University President Catherine M. Banks. Norman Garza, Vice President for Government Relations at Texas A&M University. Dr. Nancy Schenkel, Associate Vice Chancellor and Provost for the RELLIS Academic Alliance. Dr. James Nelson, Associate Vice Chancellor and Director for the RELLIS Academic Alliance. Keep standing. And Isaiah Vance, Assistant Provost and Title IX Coordinator for the RELLIS Academic Alliance. Colonel James Bright, Deputy Director for Texas A&M RELLIS. And Dr. Karen Murray, Acting Vice President and Dean of External Operations at Tarleton State University. Thank you all, except you already sat down, but we're going to thank you anyway. It is an honor to be joined by these outstanding partners today as we celebrate another very significant milestone in RELLIS's history. Our audience today also includes many of the men and women who made RELLIS such a special place. If you work here at RELLIS, either as a member of the Blinn faculty and staff, or as a member of the RELLIS Academic Alliance, or if you work at one of the agencies or private companies that are located here at RELLIS, would you please stand and let us recognize you as well? So many of you here today, thank you. Well, as many of you are very well aware, the RELLIS Academic Alliance is a partnership unlike any other in the United States. Students can take their freshman and sophomore level courses with Blinn, and then can complete their bachelor's degree with one of the regional universities located at RELLIS, and those include Prairie View A&M, Tarleton State, Texas A&M International, Texas A&M Central Texas, Texas A&M Commerce, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Texas A&M Kingsville, Texas A&M San Antonio, Texas A&M Texarkana, West Texas A&M, and Stephen F. Austin State University. Thanks to this unique environment that RELLIS offers, we have received a great response from students who come to us from around the state of Texas and beyond. With more than 2,600 students enrolled here last fall, Blinn is growing faster at RELLIS than at any other campus in our entire district. Now, from the windows to my left and to your right, you can see the signs of some of that growth. Across the street, you can see the Texas A&M University System's RELLIS Academic Complex, where students can take their upper division courses and complete their bachelor's degree. Next door to this building, to my immediate left, to most of your right, you can see Blinn's Walter C. Schwartz Building, which opened almost exactly 4 years ago today. I cannot imagine a better partnership and representation than the agreement and the working relationship that Blinn and other members of the RELLIS Academic Alliance have than that this view depicts. The Blinn RELLIS Administration Building represents the next steps in Blinn's commitment to place students on the pathway to bachelor's degrees through the members of the RELLIS Academic Alliance. Let's talk about this building particularly now. This $35.5 million facility stands 3 stories high and 80,000 square feet. Like so many of the new buildings here at RELLIS, the Blinn RELLIS Administration Building features the very, very latest in high-speed internet and technology, providing students a modern, welcoming environment for study and relaxation. Now, as you entered on the first floor, I'll bet if you didn't say it out loud, it crossed your mind, wow. You likely saw our comfortable and welcoming lobby where students and guests can meet and study and relax between classes. The lobby also includes a detailed study rooms where students can collaborate in small groups using the state-of-art digital monitors that are in those rooms. These rooms are located throughout the entire building on all 3 floor levels. They provide students with plenty of space for individual and small group study opportunities. Now, the first floor also includes a competitive esports arena that will serve as the Texas A&M RELLIS home of the Blinn College Esports team. This state-of-the-art space includes 24 practice stations, 6 competition stations, and a meeting room for discussing game strategies. These students have the latest in esports equipment, including high-speed computers and ergonomic equipment. And just down the hall, students will have hands-on technological learning opportunities in the new engineering and information technology laboratories and our computer science laboratories and classrooms. These labs include cutting-edge equipment and hands-on learning opportunities to prepare students for the high-tech careers that are driving them into the 21st century. And also located on the first floor is a new student services wing. It's where students can visit with Blinn staff and they can obtain academic advising, enrollment, financial aid, testing, and veteran services. And with the addition of the dedicated student services space, RELLIS students can now register, speak to an advisor, receive financial aid assistance, and make payments right here on campus, allowing us to offer even better direct services for our students. Let's talk about the second floor. The second floor features additional study pods as well as state-of-the-art classrooms. Each classroom can accommodate up to 36 students. Each classroom includes LIVESTREAM technology, allowing students to participate remotely, as well as large monitors that allow our professors to see and interact remotely with their students during class sessions. And now where you are, on the third floor, we have expanded our administrative and faculty office space, and we have added a soundproof recording studio where professors can record online course content for their students, and where Blinn's marketing department can record their audio presentations and their video content. Of course, where you're seated right now is awfully special. This is the highlight of this floor. We call this our banquet room. At 5,500 square feet, this room can accommodate up to 500 guests in a variety of table size and arrangements. As with the rest of the building, this space includes the latest technology, including high-tech recording, live stream, and presentation equipment. Additionally, an automated wall, right where I'm pointing, descends from the ceiling, allowing us to split this room in half for smaller events. And the windows behind me feature fantastic views to the east. And then through the doors in the back of the room, I invite you to visit the reception area over in this location. And that is where we have additional food and drinks today for you. Now, this space provides another comfortable area to complement your events. And beside that room is a catering and a full kitchen setup where food services can be coordinated. As you can see, this room has been designed to host a wide variety of events, and it is my hope, and I'm giving you my personal invitation right now, that I hope that it will become a venue for many in Brazos County. And if you are here today, I hope you will spread the word that this room is yours. This is for community use. Blinn College District embraces our partnership with our regional businesses and economic development corporations and nonprofit associations, and we're so pleased that we can offer this opportunity for you to share this space in any way that you would like. So thank you so very much for passing that word along. This is a first-class facility, and I hope that you recognize it, that Blinn College District values our partnership with Brazos County, and that we place education, technology, and research of utmost importance. Well, given how important community and collaboration are on this campus and to all the partners and the agencies located at RELLIS, it is fitting that we celebrate today's grand opening in a room that the Blinn Board of Trustees and I hope will become a community hub for events long into decades into the future. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Jim Colkhorst, Chair of the Blinn College District Board of Trustees. A Blinn College alumni and member of the board since 2019, Chair Colkhorst is the CEO of Colkhorst Foods and a valued leader in our local business community. Won't you join me in welcoming Board Chair Jim Colkhorst to the podium?
Good morning. Really great to see this many folks here. On behalf of the Blinn Board of Trustees, it's my great honor to welcome you to this, our second ribbon cutting here on the RELLIS Campus. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here today. This is another great day for Blinn College. Blinn has spent a tremendous amount of financial capital and effort in the last few years improving its facilities in the Bryan area to give our students the very best experience possible. I'd like to take a moment to let our friends from Texas A&M know how much we appreciate the invitation to be a part of this campus and the relationship that we've got with Texas A&M is really unique in the college world. And we want to do everything in our power to be a valued partner to Texas A&M and continue that tremendous relationship. You have our board's assurances that we're going to do this. With that, I hope you enjoy your morning and the tour of our new building. On behalf of our board, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Chair Colkhorst. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce Dr. James Hallmark, the Texas A&M University System Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. In this role, Dr. Hallmark provides executive leadership and direction in academic-related initiatives and oversees the program development for the Texas A&M system members. Audience, please join me in welcoming Dr. Hallmark.
Thank you, Chancellor Hensley, and congratulations to you and to the trustees on the opening of this beautiful facility. It's a remarkable addition to the RELLIS landscape. Some of you may remember that it wasn't that long ago that to get to this spot would have required a four-wheel drive vehicle with high clearance. And that would be driving on the roads that were out here. That's not even getting off-road. And to imagine that now here we are in this kind of facility providing educational opportunities for generations to come is really a remarkable progress. I don't remember exactly what year it was, 2015, 2016, somewhere in that vicinity. With Chairman Schwartz's encouragement, Billy Hamilton and I went and saw Chancellor Hensley. We didn't know if she was going to throw us out of her office, assume we were drunk or crazy, but we had this idea we wanted to share with Chancellor Hensley. And that idea is what you see here. Not this building, but this relationship between the universities of the Texas A&M University system and Blinn College, where we would be having a pathway. And Chancellor Hensley has already described that relationship, a pathway where a student here in Brazos County would be earning their first 2 years with Blinn, getting the associate's degree, and progressing on to one of the universities in the A&M system that would be offering the degree right here. And that concept was one that we weren't sure how it was going to work. We weren't sure how receptive she would be, but she embraced it immediately, more so than we ever could have dreamt, and immediately began working with her board and her staff in making it happen. And what you see today is yet another result of that tremendous commitment to the Blinn RELLIS operations. And I'm very proud to have that relationship with Blinn College. We are now sitting out here surrounded by a tremendous research engine that is the Texas A&M University system and its agencies and its research arms. That's many of the buildings you see scattered out here, much of which is behind a security fence, so you can't drive by it. But nevertheless, it is a remarkable research presence that this college gets to be a part of. We are, of course, seated, as she was noting, in the buildings across the parking lot from us. We're seated from where the A&M Systems operations are located with the RELLIS Academic Alliance, where the students progress into receiving the bachelor's degrees. And we're just delighted to be part of this relationship and delighted to be with you today to celebrate the opening of this facility. And so again, on behalf of the Chancellor and the Regents of the Texas A&M University system, just want to say congratulations and thank you for letting us be part of this partnership. Thank you.
Dr. Hallmark brings back some memories. I think it was 2015, and I drove out here. Now, you could not get very far in because there were no roads, remember? There were few, and everything was older, if I might be so... Okay, he used the word terrible. I was trying to be more gracious. Less than this, I will say that. And I got out my iPhone, and I took pictures all the way around, like 360 degrees. Because I knew that someday, hopefully, my children, my great-grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren would one day want to see what it looked like when it began. It began from dirt, and here we are today. So I encourage you now, as you leave today, take pictures from the windows and on the ground floors, because there is still much to come out here. Thank you, Dr. Hallmark. We so appreciate your presence today. At this time, it is my honor to introduce Senator Lois W. Colkhorst. Senator Colkhorst is a fifth-generation Texas with ancestral roots dating back to the Texas War of Independence. Representing District 18, she serves as chair of the Health and Human Services and Special Child Protective Services Committees. She's co-chair of the Community-Based Care Transition Legislative Oversight Committee, and she is vice chair of the Special Project All Texans Committee. Won't you please give a warm welcome to Senator Colkhorst.
Thank you, Dr. Hensley, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of such a special day. Dr. Hallmark, you are so right about needing really an ATV, and a really good one, to have driven around here just a few years ago, 7 years ago. I have to speak to Chancellor John Sharp And sometimes we think he has a crazy vision, but I can assure you every vision ends up being the right vision. And what was born out of an idea of taking this campus and then calling it RELLIS and naming it after the values of what the Texas A&M system stands for is so unique and so wonderful and such a beacon. And I do mean that, a beacon, a light in a world that sometimes we think is becoming darker, about what great partnerships can lead to. And so speaking of partnerships, Dr. Hallmark, I have to give a great shout out to Representative Rainey and Representative Cassell. And I want y'all to join me in giving them a round of applause. I had the great fortune of serving in the Texas House of Representatives with them, both of them, before going to what they would call the dark side of the Texas Senate, across the rotunda. And while we can squabble sometimes across that rotunda, what we're always doing is fighting for a better Texas. And these two gentlemen here love Bryan College Station, Brazos County, and Representative Cassell, I would like to say your good fortune and our good fortune is that your district has expanded to places like Grimes County and Washington County and Walker County, all counties that I've represented both in the Senate and Walker County in the House. Great people that depend on the Texas A&M system showing the way. And so with that, I want to say also that Senator Schwartner, while he couldn't be here today, is a great leader in the Texas Senate and represents Brazos County with great passion. And then finally, I guess I would just end it with just this short story. Just yesterday, I traveled Senate District 18. Of course, it goes all the way to Port Aransas today, but after January, only to Rockport Fulton. Ran into a young lady, asked her what she was doing. And she has graduated from Texas A&M, but she is seeking her BSN and her proper licensing. And I said, well, how are you doing that? And she says, I'm on the RELLIS Campus. And I said, really? Tell me more about that. And she said, well, it's a partnership with Blinn College and with Texas A&M and with the Texas A&M Health Science Center, the med school. Extraordinary. And I know that I speak for my colleagues when we say, in utilizing taxpayer dollars or tuition dollars from students, you're always trying to stretch them as far as you possibly can. And this, Dr. Hensley, we like to say is a great example for Texas, but you're really right. It's an example for the United States of America in creating our future workforce like the young lady that I got to run into yesterday. So with that, thank you for letting me be a part of today in our celebration. I know my colleagues, we go to session not too long from now, and we've made investments in the RELLIS Campus, and we will continue to make investments not only in the RELLIS Campus, but the Texas A&M system, because we believe that, again, it is the leader not just in our state, but in our nation. Thank you. And God bless you, and God bless Texas.
Thank you, Senator Colkhorst. Now it's my pleasure to introduce another friend of Blinn College and the Texas A&M University system, and that is Representative John Rainey. A sixth-generation Texan, Representative Rainey has served as District 14 in the Texas House of Representatives since 2011 and is a member of the House Appropriations and Higher Education Committee. I'd like to tell you a personal story, and Representative Rainey doesn't know I'm going to say this. I just saw him mouth, uh-oh. When I first came to Blinn, the first person that I wanted to meet after our Board of Trustees, of course, was Representative Rainey. There were reasons why. And he was gracious enough to schedule an appointment with me in his office. You probably don't even remember it, but I do. The appointment time was for 9 a.m. I was there at 8:30. My usual early bird self. And he was promptly available for me. We went into his conference room. We closed the door. We chatted for 4 hours. We didn't come out. But we bonded immediately as friends and partners with a commitment for goodwill for Brazos County. After 4 hours, we were hungry. And John said to me, "Do you want to get something to eat?" And I said, "Of course." And so off we went. We got in his car, and we drove. And to this day, I don't know where it was because I didn't know my way around. But it was his favorite Mexican food restaurant. So in front of all of you, I'm going to ask you, John, after all this time, I'm treating you to a pretty nice event today. I am ready to go back to your Mexican food restaurant, and we'll just have a nice lengthy lunch today. But as chancellor, I walked away after 6 hours of this wonderful man's gracious time that he gave me to help heal some of the wounds that existed at that time, and which I may proudly and very happily say no longer exist at all. Won't you please welcome Representative John Rainey.
Thank you, Dr. Hensley, for such a nice introduction. It's a pleasure for me to be here with all of you and celebrate this fantastic facility that Blinn has erected here on what used to be Bryan Air Base. I remember when I was a kid and they closed it down, I think Bryan felt like they were going to just fall apart and dry up and blow away. What's going on out here today is a emphasis on education. And we are all interested in education. As serving on Higher Education Committee, I'm committed to not only public education, but to higher education in particular. Very interested in what's going on here at Blinn, and very happy that so many students transfer to my beloved Texas A&M. And I continue to hear that they do better than some of the kids who started at A&M. So that's very impressive. We're happy that Blinn is here in Bryan College Station. We're happy they're out here on this beautiful campus. And I will commit myself to help Blinn in any way I can as they continue the effort to educate the young folks of Texas. I want them to do it both and academically, and I also think the continued CTE training, whatever you want to call it, we are committed to that, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you, and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Representative Rainey. Well, another one of my favorites is about to be introduced. This is Representative Kyle Cassell. Kyle is a longtime resident of Brazos County. He was first elected to represent District 12 in the Texas House of Representatives in 2012, and he serves on the Environmental Regulation and Natural Resources Committee. I want to tell you a personal story about Kyle. He didn't say, uh-oh. I was sitting at my office one day in Brenham, and my phone rang, and I looked at it, and up popped Kyle Cassell. I have to be truthful. My heart skipped a beat. I had not met him yet. I was still extremely new to Blinn College. And I picked it up, and I said, "Yes, sir, how can I help you? This is Mary Hensley." And he said, "Hi, I'm Kyle Cassell. I'm headed back from Austin. I was just wondering, could I just stop by your office and visit with you for a few minutes?" And it was late. It was late in the afternoon. I said, "Well, of course, sir. I'd be happy to do that. Come on over." So a couple of hours later, everybody's gone. The buildings are empty. It's almost dark outside. And here he comes. This smiling gentleman who I had never met bounces into my office, gives me this gigantic hug, tells me he loves Blinn College. He's here to help. Whatever he can do, just let him know. Make sure I have his cell phone number, gives me the contacts for his immediate staff, and says, "I'm here to help. I'm here to support Blinn College." What a great gentleman. Thank you. Another quick story I'm going to tell you about Kyle. This one's in Austin. So I'm walking down the streets of downtown Austin. It is not easy to trek to the Capitol in heels. So I'm a couple of blocks away from the Capitol, and it begins to rain. Of course, I don't have an umbrella. So I figure by the time I get to the hearing, my hair will be straighter than it already is, but I'll just be a little bit damper than I already am. About that moment, this car comes around the corner and honks. He rolls down his window and he said, "Hey, gal, you want to ride?" And I could not tell who was in there. And knowing Austin, well, let me just say, you just never know. And that's when he rolled his window down. Of course, I didn't have my glasses on, so I kind of went like, and then I thought, and I didn't say it out loud, but I thought to myself, oh my Lord, is that Representative Cassell? Is he offering me a ride? I'm just honored, and I'm drenched also, but I'm so appreciative. So I go over there, he opens up his car door for me, I hop in, get his seat all wet, and then we zip along through a couple more blocks of downtown Austin, and then we go where places where I have never been. You have to be an important person to get into that parking lot that's reserved for elected officials. To this day, that is the only time I have ever been in that parking lot, and I still feel honored. Representative Cassell, thank you so much for letting me drive with you that day and for allowing me to be in that special parking place. Won't you please join me in welcoming Kyle Cassell?
Well, good morning. What an incredible opportunity for us to be here today. This campus used to land planes, crash cars. Now it's one of the most innovative research workforce training places to make sure and ensure students have successful outcomes. And it comes from a collaboration and partnership with two of the finest institutions in the state of Texas. We are so honored to have these two institutions working so well together. We are truly blessed. I am excited to watch it grow, continue, and it tells me that there will be students, leaders of the state of Texas, that will give me, Lois, and John an opportunity to sit on the sidelines and enjoy all y'all have accomplished. Jim and the board, Mary and the administration, Charles, Kay, Cole, I have one thing to say. Onion would be proud. God bless you. God bless these two organizations, and look forward to much, much more success. God bless.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Andrew Nelson from the City of Bryan. In addition to his duties as mayor, Mayor Nelson is a business owner and actively supports a number of charitable and civic causes in our community, including the Rotary Club of Bryan, Brazos Valley Cares, and mentoring veterans at the Mays Business School Entrepreneurial Veteran Boot Camp. I'm going to tell a story about you too, Andrew. The first time I ever met Andrew, I walked into a conference room in an entity at that time that was known as the Research Valley Partnership. And I met Andrew. And in one of the few disappointments in my life, I don't believe that I handled that meeting well. I could have done better. We could have gotten off to a better start. But we didn't, and I take full responsibility for that. However, I made up for it every day since, I think. Andrew and I have become very close friends. I've got his cell number, he's got mine. He calls me sometimes about occasional business in the Bryan community and how that might impact Blinn, and I call him. And I have texted him, and he knows this to be true, to let him know how much I admire him, how much I respect him, and how much I value a partnership that did not start off particularly well, but has ended exceedingly well. I am so proud to call Andrew Nelson my friend. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew, won't you please come up? And please, won't you, audience, please join in welcoming the wonderful, exquisite mayor of Bryan, Mayor Andrew Nelson. I'll bet not many people have called you exquisite.
Thank you. That's very kind. Howdy. Well, I was worried when she said she had a story. But I will say it takes two to have a good or a bad meeting, and that's not fair of you to say that that was your fault. At the time, I had no idea that I'd be serving as mayor. But what I can tell you is that even bad meetings are sometimes really good meetings, because we both passionately care about workforce. We both passionately care about education. And sometimes when you have a first meeting and you bring that passion, sometimes it doesn't go well, but ultimately we are able to move our community forward by having honest and frank conversations. And I have always, even in the very first meeting, admired the fact that that you have brought that to not just your passion, your expertise, your incredible talent, but your honesty and your candor, because we can't get things done without that. And I echo that. It's been an amazing relationship. I'm honored that you call me friend. I'm honored to be here. 150 years ago, Harvey Mitchell and a few other business people decided to offer up some land and pitch Texas A&M coming to this area. The city of Bryan was about the same size as Caldwell at the time, which pitched to get a steel plant. And two very similar cities. Look what's happened 150 years ago. Our commitment in this region to education. We now have an amazing university, Texas A&M University and Blinn College. We have an amazing sister city, College Station, which 80 years or whatever after became its own municipality, and our sister city. Both cities are so much more interesting with the other next to them, and being partners with Blinn College and Texas A&M University and the system. I start thinking about what we're doing here in the city of Bryan, because everything here on the Blinn campus is a part of the city of Bryan, and we're honored and proud of that. Just like the Health Science Center, the over 200 acres at the Health Science Center is in Bryan, the College of Architecture in downtown. It all started 150 years ago, and I am so excited that this campus is going to continue that story for the next 150 years, and Blinn College and Texas A&M University, but I mean, look at this, what Blinn is doing. I hate to say it, you might have the most beautiful building in Aggie land. Chancellor Sharp's going to be a little pissed at me for saying that, but
I love it.
okay, but this is truly beautiful. The city of Bryan is honored to be a part of it, not just to have this be on Bryan soil, but to ask what can we do for this amazing RELLIS vision, the amazing vision and leadership of the Blinn's board, the Blinn's, faculty, chancellor. You've got an amazing team. You're not the only amazing one. So I want to thank all of the people at Blinn, the people at A&M that partner with you. And it's pretty cool when you talk about Boston having a certain number of universities. Houston's got 4 public universities. I think when we add to the 11 you talked about, Blinn and Texas A&M, we've got 13 universities here in Bryan. So we're honored to be a part of it. Let us know how we can help. And God bless you, and thank you for your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful mayor and a true, true friend. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Michael Russell. Michael, I'm so glad that you are the one on this historic day, that you're the student who can speak on behalf of all Blinn students. Michael is a U.S. Army veteran. Michael is a U.S. Army veteran. Speaking for myself, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of you and so humbled and appreciative of your service to this nation. He's not only a U.S. Army veteran, but he's a second-year RELLIS student. He enrolled in classes here at Blinn in the fall of 2021. And beginning next spring, he plans to pursue his Bachelor of Science in Computer Science from Texas A&M University Commerce. Won't you give a warm welcome to Michael Russell.
I'd like to start off by saying how incredibly humbled I am by following the giants of this community and everybody here. The representation here, it means a lot to me. I'm a 33-year-old veteran from Kansas City, Kansas. It's taken me quite a long time to get here, a lot longer than most. I must have missed a turn or two along the way. But the fact that I'm here, I think, is what's important, finally. I made it here. And that, it means a lot to me because I came from a low-income area. And a lot of people in low-income areas, they believe a lie that's told to them. They're not worth higher education. It's not for people like me. We don't have the resources or the time to dedicate to it. Well, Blinn and the chancellor here, they're the ones who told me that I was worth it. Every student that comes walking through the doors here is told that they're worth the education opportunity here. And I'm really appreciative of that. So I feel honored to be here, and thank you all for letting me speak.
I was telling Michael, I guess I'm into telling stories today. I'm sure my staff are going, oh my gosh, what's she going to say next? So Michael, I'm just going to say, you remember when I told the story a little while ago about take your pictures and take pictures everywhere? But you will have a distinction in your life forever, for generations. Your family, your children, your great-grandchildren, they will always know that you were the speaker who represented all students at Blinn College for the grand opening of this elegant, prestigious, most important building that represents where you will get your associate degree. Congratulations for all of us. Well, of course, I'm beginning to recognize that I'm standing between you and all of this food around the room and also located in other locations throughout this building. Please allow me to take just a couple of final moments of this ceremony to recognize members of the Blinn staff who worked so hard to get this building ready for today's event. I would like to ask the following to stand, and please remain standing until I mention all of your names. Executive Vice Chancellor Leighton Schubert. Executive Dean of the RELLIS Campus, Chris Mars. Special Assistant to the Board of Trustees and the Chancellor, Lori Clark. Director, Rich Bray. Assistant Director, Darla Arter, and the Marketing and Communications team. Director, Joe Schultz, and the Food Services Department. Today's pianist, and he knows at any time I have a Blinn event, if I'm there, you're there. Always and forever, the wonderful and talented John Doika. And Chief of Police John Chancellor, and Administrative Assistant to the Executive Dean Chris Mars of the RELLIS Campus, Julie Marshall. Thank you all so much for all you did to get this event going today. And as you may know, the RELLIS Campus has a rich military tradition. It's the site of the former Bryan Air Force Base. And we have honored that tradition today by placing a challenge coin at each of your seats to commemorate today's celebration. These coins traditionally are presented by unit commanders in recognition of special achievement by a member of the unit and to prove membership in an elite company. I hope you will accept these coins as symbols of Blinn's deep appreciation for your friendship, support, and presence today. You will also find a walking tour brochure at your table to guide you as you literally explore the building today. Members of the Blinn Prospective Student Relations team are wearing blue Blinn College shirts. They are located throughout the building to answer any questions that you may have. We also have faculty and staff located throughout the building to showcase the building's features and to answer any questions you may have. Before you leave, however, I encourage you to stay in this room, visit, enjoy the wonderful food, because if you don't, I'm going to take it home for leftovers tonight, and I don't need all that much, so I hope you will enjoy it. At this time, I would like to do the formal ribbon cutting. I would like to invite our stage guest at this table, and members of the Blinn Board of Trustees to join me in the front of this podium so that we may take a ceremonial ribbon-cutting photo. Once again, we are blessed and honored by your presence today. If any time that we could be of assistance or additional service, please let me know. I hope you have a grand day, and thank you again, and go enjoy the rest of the tour. If you would, please, stage guest and Blinn board, please come forward promptly, and we'll take the ribbon cutting. And you all are welcome and invited to watch us take our picture. And after that, the ceremony here in this room is dismissed, and enjoy your day.